right in the side. Let's have a heart-to-heart about your pride. Even though you're multi, I see that your soul don't look alive. The M's count different when baby divides the pie. Let's examine why your music for the past few years been angry and full of lies. I started at the home front, I'm on one.
All right. You are back in the great room, and according to Pusha T, it is going to be what he likes to call a surgical summer. And we're about to chop up that topic and many others on the latest edition of the I Make It, She Take It podcast.
Hey, welcome. I'm Carlise. This is Larry.
This week I'm actually known as Laro Calrissian.
Laro Calrissian, because why is that buddy again?
Staycation plus birthday equals Laro Calrissian.
So I might usually take it, but this weekend, I guess I'm going to have to go ahead and show him what I got, right?
You have to show me something.
Yeah, for his birthday. So we're going to start it off by toasting it up.
Yes. Let's do that.
To Larry's birthday tomorrow, for sure.
Big fofo.
All right.
It reminds me of one thing before we go any further. As you all know, anyone who is born witness to what we do here, there's been a certain brand that I consistently shout out and say, hey, anytime you want to send a case over, offer us a little scholarship, we'd be more than willing to take it. But since they have yet to listen in on what I've been saying to them, we decided to switch it up this week for another lovely product that we enjoy here in the Casa de Campbell, aka the Great Room. A little Espolon Puro Agave, 100% Tequila Blanco. Little tequilas here. See, it's very smooth, quite tasty. Great coming out the freezer. Never hurts to throw a little citrus in there. And on top of that, if you look at the cover art, there is a skeleton riding a war on a giant chicken. You can't really ask much more than that.
Yeah, I'm like, what's better than that?
Nothing.
I mean, other than the smooth taste.
Don't let the smooth taste fool you. All right.
Yeah. Oh, you done now?
I'm done.
Okay, enough with the plug-in, enough with all the scholarship begging.
But somebody come on and holler at us.
Let's get to it. So we started to show off. You heard it. Pusha T. We're gonna jump straight into it. Pusha T, Drake, diss track.
Just
going back and forth.
Going back and forth. This is, as the shirt says, it's getting savage now. Personally, I mean, I'm curious what your opinion is of it, but I think it's wonderful for hip hop. What do you think from what you've heard so far?
My question is, how far is too far? Because I heard on the radio today Pusha T's, and my mouth was to the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about baby mamas and there was a lot.
See, here's the thing. This is where it gets weird, because it actually, I have to say, when he went at Drake, I was somewhat surprised. But when I look in the past of Pusha T, which a lot of people, he's kind of like one of those guys that's in that category of he might be your favorite rapper's favorite rapper, because he's dropped stuff here and there. He's always been present, but he's not a huge name individually. And him and his brother from your old stomping grounds, VA, the Clips from back in the day. But Pusha, even though he's known, I think with people that are more so like hip hop heads, he's not really a big name.
And I remember just asking you yesterday, like, where do I know this dude from?
Right. Push. But no, and people forget a couple of years ago, he went all in on Cash Money, Baby, Wayne, like really got at them. And I think the thing that made it go away so fast is they didn't really respond.
Right.
But he has, this isn't his first time attacking a heavyweight. He likes to go at juggernauts. Now, I don't know if this is a thing where when he drops new stuff to try to get people's attention, I don't know if it's him just using his platform because he likes, if he feels a certain type of way about you, he has no problem saying it.
Okay.
It's just, when is he? I just found it ironic that he chose to bring up this whole, it started with him going at Drake about this whole ghostwriter thing that's a couple of years old. With the guy, I believe his name was Quentin Miller. So that's kind of really where it jumped off with him going at Drake. Ironically, was also, he got to give him credit. He came out with, so far, probably the best album of 2018. I don't know how many people are aware of it yet, that he just came out with, called Daytona.
Okay.
And, for those who don't know, the last track on the album, and it's only 7 tracks, they used to be called an EP where I came from.
Right.
But nowadays, they're calling that a whole album. 7 tracks, the last one was Infrared, where it wasn't like Drake was the only person he went at or only person he commented on, but that's the one that really stuck and got people's attention. So you don't really have I'm going to put it like this. My feeling, this takes me back to without it being as big of names, Jay and Nas.
Well, wow.
Ether,
I mean, honestly,
Super Ugly.
Right.
The back and forth.
Right. But...
And the personal
I mean, you talking about like Ether or whatever. I mean, Remy just slayed though. She killed. So the other
you're
thing
talking about Sheether.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking. Okay.
You're talking Sheether.
Right.
Nikki.
Right. But no. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm saying the main thing for me though is that as long as you keep it on vinyl, you know what I'm saying, and out the streets, and you know what I'm saying. I mean.
Look, not trying to be funny, but do we really think we have to worry about it getting in the streets with Drake?
Drake, come on.
Look, I'm a fan. I like the dude, but that's part of the reason I like him is because he doesn't front like he's that guy.
Yeah.
He isn't. And I think Drake is smart enough regardless. If it's going to make him money, I think he's got a project dropping in June.
Okay.
Maybe he'll keep it going. Maybe he'll do one more, two more, or until he feels satisfied.
Right.
And call it. Maybe he won't say anything else, and then maybe he'll take his time, and then when the album drops, remember to be something lovely on that for Pusha.
You know what?
I don't know.
That's the thing. I'm like, the bars are tight. Got us talking about it.
Right. And honestly, to me, that's why I feel like it's a good thing for hip hop.
Okay.
Now, back to your question about
how far is too far?
How far is too far? Now, I will say this, and Pusha has gone on the record since he's been interviewed since it all started, not only after the album and the song Infrared, but after Drake dropped the Duppy freestyle or whatever a Duppy is. I don't know. Maybe that's some Canadian Six God stuff. I'm not really sure what a Duppy. It reminds me of Pass the Dutchie from the left hand side. You remember that song about Musical Youth, a little Jamaican group came out back in the day, like New. You don't know about that? They were out like New Edition.
I know New Edition.
Yeah, I know you do. No. Anyway, Duppy, Dutchie, I'm not really sure how that works, but the thing is, what I think is kind of being slept on because Pusha went so hard.
Yeah.
Is Drake actually was the one who started getting personal.
Okay.
Drake mentioned in an interview that Pusha's brother that is no longer, like he kind of raps, but he doesn't because he got real religious.
Okay.
Changed his name to No Malice.
Yeah.
He referenced an interview that he did a while back where he said that Pusha really wasn't as big in the drug game as he says in a lot of his raps because, you know, he's kind of known for quote-unquote coke rap.
Okay.
He talks a lot of street stuff, crack, cocaine, moving weight, interstate, blah, blah, blah. So Drake referenced that, and I think he actually mentioned Pusha's fiance by name in line.
Okay.
So now, and here's the thing. That's when, and Pusha had said this, he was like, gloves off.
Yeah.
Like now nothing is sacred. And I will say too, it's funny you bring up Remy and Nikki earlier because that reminds me of something. Nobody knows if this baby by the French soft porn woman is actually Drake's. Everybody remembers, or maybe a lot of people don't because everybody's acting like it's brand new now. That story bubbled up. It became a big deal for a little while. You never heard anything else about it.
Yeah.
Pusha's making it sound like the dude's a deadbeat. Then he brought his daddy into it.
Yeah.
You know, so again, he said gloves are off. You referenced some of my personal stuff. Now I'm coming at your neck.
Right.
Thing is, though, I will say one thing we both know from being in the industry. You never let the facts get in the way of a good story. There's a lot of stuff that, what's her name? Remy.
Yeah.
Said about Nikki and Sheether that we still to this day don't know if they have any actual merit or if there's any truth to it. It seems like a lot of it really wasn't true, but again, when it sounds good,
it was entertaining.
And you going at somebody, it
was entertaining.
You know, and I still say Remy won that one anyway.
And speaking of somebody in the media, Drake's dad clapped back at Wendy Williams apparently after she had them, was talking about the whole diss track on Hot Topics. And what are your thoughts on that?
About him going after
About
Wendy?
him clapping back at Wendy.
It's funny because you put me onto that. You sent me the link.
I did.
I looked at it. For one, I think it's hilarious because I think someone called Wendy out for doing what I tell you behind closed doors bothers me about her all the time on the show, which is she's not educated on a lot of things she speaks on, and she clearly does. Either she doesn't do her research people are bad, or they give her information and she ignores it. I don't know which. I don't know if she chooses to play more ignorant because she thinks it sounds better, and she's surrounded by people who just say, "Woo, yes, Wendy, yes, girl, I love it. Talk about it," and she doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. So it's funny because I saw comments online about it, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, you're not going at Pusha like that. You know, you going at a woman." Look, here's the thing. To me, I feel like Drake's dad, knowing who his son is going to let him handle the Pusha on wax part.
Okay.
The actual real heart of the beef. Wendy said something that man felt a certain type of way about. So since Drake ain't really got time to address Wendy, nor should he, because in all reality, that should be beneath him. Because I can't tell you how many major artists and stars Wendy went at when she was still on the radio, and they ignored her. She just couldn't get any burn from her. And all she really wanted was a response. So it actually doesn't bother me, because it's like, you know what? Why does this man, whether he's in a Steve Harvey suit or not, he definitely has a Steve Harvey mustache.
Okay.
Why does he have to go after somebody like Pusha T? This is between Drake and Pusha.
Yeah.
So let Son handle that part. I'll deal with some of this other stuff.
And Wendy Williams, keep my name out your mouth.
Right, which means now that she definitely will not.
Okay.
But you know what? Drake and his dad have those liquor commercials together.
Yeah. Oh. Cheers to that.
So if this adds a little more burn, brings back a little bit more attention to some of their endeavors, then so be it. I salute you, Mr. Drake's daddy. I forget his name though.
Mr. Drake daddy.
Well, for now, yeah. I know he's from Memphis, which is what part of what Drake's connection is to a bunch of like southern like rappers and a lot of the Memphis boys he does stuff with. But anyway, I digress.
Okay.
I don't know if we have anything else we really need to add to that.
I mean, I'm sure we'll bring it back. It's going to be an ongoing thing, you know.
Yeah, they'll give us something else to talk about.
Absolutely.
Because this thing isn't over.
It's not over.
All right.
Moving on. Let's get to some sports. NBA Finals tip off tomorrow. Remember last podcast with somebody with the C jacket, the champion jacket on was like the C is not for Celtics.
No,
I mean
C
for Cavs. It's not for Cavs. Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. So what you thinking now? We do have the Cavs and the Warriors in the NBA playoffs.
Okay. Well,
and they're meeting each other again. This is the 4th straight year.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, is this a legit rivalry or?
If it determines the champion every year, then absolutely.
Okay.
And the only reason I say yes, other than the fact that it's 4th in a row.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the rivalry of the decade of the 2010s at this point, because it's been going on the entire decade essentially.
Yeah.
The only reason I give it that much credit is because the Cavs did win one. It'd be different if they hadn't won one.
Right.
But LeBron brought a championship to Cleveland, which they had not had in any sport since like the 50s. And that was in football, and that was before it was truly the NFL. It was like, I forget what the name of the championship was, but it was when Jim Brown was there, but it was before AFC and NFC had came together.
Gotcha.
So, considering what he brought back to that city in literally 60 years, and the fact that it was against the Warriors, I do have to call it that, because they still got a 7-game series ahead of them to decide who the champ is. I mean, I don't have any doubts who's going to win it, you know.
I mean, I think we all know.
Yeah, or at least we all believe. And here's the thing. I'm not going to sit in front. I know what I said. I stood by it. Kudos to the Cavs for making a liar out of me.
Oh.
I'm man enough to say it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm man enough to say it. I didn't believe in them. I didn't believe in them then.
No.
I don't believe in King James and the fighting LeBrons now. And I'm obviously not alone in that. So,
for sure.
Do you not feel like it's a legit rivalry?
I think it has to be. Like, this is the same team. Everybody thought this was going to be the matchup. This is the matchup that everybody wanted to see. So, yeah, I mean, it has to be a rivalry, right? I mean, 4 years in a row makes for something.
Yeah, it makes for a whole lot. Again, they're getting close to a half a decade of seeing each other for the only thing that really matters anyway.
Right. So, going into game 1, it looks like Andre Iguodala is out.
Yep.
And Kevin Love is still questionable.
Shaky, yeah.
So
still in protocol.
Who are they going to miss the most? Like
Love.
Why? Oh well, because
I mean,
stacked.
Stacked. Literally, the words that they run people at you that you've never even seen before. It's like I watch their games sometimes and I'm like, I don't even know this dude. Like who is where? What he went where? And they're like, oh yeah, the rookie from Oregon. I'm like. Oregon, where they got like all the trees on the court, and it looks like you're playing on a forest. I didn't even know they had somebody from their team make it to the league this year. And this kid is contributing in the Western Conference Finals. And you still got Steph, who just really had a Steph-type game in the playoffs.
Right.
In that game 7.
Durant hasn't been as consistent as we're used to him being, but...
No, but you know what, though? The thing is, anytime there's a guy that you have to, like, when you game plan, you got to circle him.
Yeah.
And you know that you got to worry about him because he could go off. That's the thing. The Warriors have guys that could just go off.
And for sure, like, Klay Thompson had a 35-point game. Like, I don't know any of the fighting LeBrons that could do that. Mm-mm. Not even Kevin Love, though, babe.
Well, that's the thing, though, but he doesn't have to. But if Kevin Love can be another guy that can almost give you a triple-double, let's be honest. We're not talking about this meaning the Cavs could win the series, because we already know better than that.
Right.
We're saying who's more important as far as being out of the lineup.
Right.
The Warriors can get by any day of the week. True, and I hate to say this because people forget this guy was a Finals MVP a couple of years ago, but that roster, they can get by without Andre Iguodala. And again, we're also talking about a situation where the Warriors are missing their best player off the bench. Mm-hmm. The Cavs are missing their second best player, perennial all-star.
Yeah. So
just knowing that alone, I mean, again, even if Love isn't dropping 35, he damn sure gonna get you 20, 22, 11, 12 boards, and probably like 7 or 8 assists.
Yeah.
He's a fast break waiting to happen, but without moving. He's probably the best outlet passer in basketball, other than LeBron, probably.
Well, speaking of LeBron, like, how much pressure do you think he's on to? I don't think anybody personally thinks he's going to win, but I ain't gonna lie. I might have to call somebody and put $100 on the Cavs, though, just in case. Just in case, but we ain't gonna talk about that right now.
First of all,
I have time.
First of all, you better make it quick. Second of all, it better not come out the joint account. But I still want my chunk.
I get paid tomorrow. Anyway, but how much pressure is LeBron on? Like, how much pressure is on him?
Honestly,
for this series?
I don't think that. I'm gonna say this: the most pressure that's on LeBron, there's no more pressure that's on him than he's not putting on himself.
Okay.
Because nobody expects anything from them.
I can see that.
Most people are calling a sweep, which I don't believe. They're gonna get. They'll get one at home.
They're gonna get one. I say Warriors in 5.
You know what? I'm gonna say, out of respect, I'm gonna say 6.
To the King.
Just in general. Just you know what?
Just because you want something to watch on TV.
That too. Because we still waiting on Snowfall, Power,
my God,
The Shy. I'm still waiting on Game of Thrones. You're not on that. And then eventually Fear the Walking Dead is going to go away, so that's going to be an issue. So, yeah, I need something.
Right,
I need something to watch. But seriously, though, like,
one more.
This is what I want to say. My respect is not just necessarily for LeBron James. It's not about the fighting. It's about professionalism.
Okay.
Because, to me, what you see in these situations is just out of self-respect and the crowd and everything else and not want to be embarrassed, I expect them to get one at home.
Okay. For sure.
I also believe they have it in them. If the Warriors don't play a good game or they kind of go to sleep for one, like we're pretty close, we got this, blah, 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 and they know they have home court. Right. And good teams do that. I hate to say it. Like, the Warriors remind me of those great Laker teams with Shaq and Kobe that sometimes used to seem like they were sleepwalking and then they would wake up and catch fire.
Okay.
I could see the Warriors coming out lackluster, especially after traveling back from Cleveland and being up in the series and losing one at home.
I can't wait.
So
I'm ready.
Let's
go game 1. I'm ready.
I'm saying the Yay area in 6, personally.
The what?
Yay area. You don't know?
I don't know what that is.
Hey,
what is that?
That's debate. E40. You don't really understand it, do you?
Anywho, all right, so let's move on. 76ers GM Brian Colangelo, we just found out that he's been using fake Twitter accounts to tweet out like and rip his team. You know, like
criticisms.
Yes, man.
Their medical information. What else did they say? They said he was also like
he was talking about Embiid and
but it was other stuff like it was like gossip stories about their personal lives.
What is going on?
I don't know, man. That's like, that is what I call Twitter gangsterism on a whole new level. Now you got rich older men who run teams using. This is like The Wire when they had like burner phones so they wouldn't get caught. He's using burner Twitter accounts.
Oh my gosh!
Like that's what the world has come to now. Burner social media.
Man, this is not. It's not cool.
But then apparently he wasn't very smart about it because he got caught, and now he's trying to front about how many of the accounts he actually was responsible for.
Right.
which to me says if he wasn't responsible for all of them, other people in the team, in the organization, were empowered to do what they were doing on the other accounts. Now, what the end game is and what the whole point is, I have no idea. I don't know why you would even do something like that unless it was a thing where, I don't know for him personally, if he felt like he needed an outlet to talk about guys or certain things that he didn't like, but he can't say it publicly. And maybe because they're so young, or maybe the ownership won't let him like talk to them directly, but I think he said stuff about the coach too.
Like he did, and that's the thing. Like I totally don't think this is the way to go about it. But my question to you is like, what do you think he should do? Should he step down? Do you think they should like what should happen?
I think it depends on the severity of the things he's. I mean, here's the thing: if he violated
personal information, though,
honestly,
come on.
If he was
like medical,
if he genuinely released like legit personal medical details, then it's a wrap. You done. Because I mean, even if you don't want to fire him, that's grounds for a lawsuit. And now as an organization, you're liable too.
Damn Twitter fingers.
Yeah.
Twitter fingers.
You need to get back to spirit fingers. Jazz hands.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so.
But he's definitely, he played himself. He's definitely a candidate for somebody who needs to sit their ass down.
Is that where we're going?
I mean, I think we're getting close.
Okay.
I do believe.
So is that your choice for this week, or you?
No.
You got another one?
I think there's someone else who showed their ass as a Twitter gangster that deserves it a lot more than he does.
Okay, let's hit it.
You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Roseanne Barr. You are the next contestant, and man, sit your ass down.
Man, sit your ass down.
So Roseanne Barr, back to you. You have shown your ignorance and your stupidity on so many levels. And the one thing about this that I'm glad about is that it reveals that maybe at one point you were considered funny, witty, had some level of acknowledged talent that made you phenomenally rich. But it also indicates that does not change the fact that people can be both extremely entitled and extremely stupid and make a lot of dumb sucker ass moves. So what you have done is, first and foremost, you have attacked a former Obama aide and said that this woman was the byproduct of the Brotherhood of Muslims and the Planet of the Apes. Then in this, I guess, attempt at an apology, you blamed, was it Ambien that she blamed?
Yes.
You blamed, okay, first of all, I'm gonna tell you something. When you're supposed to be a comedian, but the funniest thing I've seen all day is Ambien saying that despite whatever side effects they have, racism isn't one of them. When you're supposed to be a comic and you get burned like that shows how dumb you are. You look like a real sucker. That's one thing.
True.
Then part of your apology was saying that you thought the woman was Jewish. So apparently, you too damn dumb to know that even if she's black, she could also be Jewish. And I'm pretty sure you're familiar with Whoopi Goldberg. So this wouldn't be unprecedented. Then, on top of all that, you're on ABC. You choose at random to call a black woman essentially a monkey. But you have two bosses in Wanda Sykes and the president of ABC who are black women.
Shout out Wanda. Shut that shit down.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
So.
Joke's on you. Joke's on you, Roseanne.
Yeah. You's a real sucker for that. Another thing. Shout out to all the folks who worked on Roseanne.
Oh my God.
Both her castmates and the people behind the scenes who don't share your thoughts and feelings.
True.
Who don't get down like you do. Who are basically collateral damage and innocent bystanders. Who now are out of work and are looking for the next thing or hoping that their names aren't always attached to you in this foolishness and that they're not guilty by association. They can move on with their lives and become gainfully employed again and that their reputations aren't tarnished permanently by your ignorance.
Oh, give it to her good.
So, Roseanne Barr, with all that being said, I'm telling you.
Hold on, just pause with it. Let it simmer. I'm serious on this one, man. I feel this. Okay, go ahead.
Roseanne, sit your ass down.
And on that one, I think we just gonna. Oh, you gonna stare at her?
We're gonna run.
You just gonna stare at her, dog. I meant that. That's all we've been hearing about for the last couple of days, man. Don't nobody miss me with that.
On top
shit.
of that, she ugly.
Does it matter?
Yeah,
I mean,
now it
you've
does.
been out in LA too long talking about folks ugly.
She
Look at
ugly.
you. Anyway, we gonna. On that note, game 1 tomorrow. We'll see you after that.
Father walked away at 5.
We're out.
Marriage is something that Sandy
Know
never
your
had.
worth.
Drake, how you a winner, but she keep coming in last place. Monkey suit Dennis, you parade him. A Steve Harvey suit nigga made him.
Finish my shot.
Confused, always felt you weren't black enough. Afraid to